Welcome to Em.Powercoaching. Em.Powercoaching combines mental and physical fitness to help you connect the dots to unveil a more confident, energized and empowered version of you. So if you're ready, let's get into today's episode. Hello, my beautiful listeners. Welcome back to Empowering You with Emma. I'm in a cracking mood because today I went to the zoo. I went to the freaking zoo. And, do you know, we've been in lockdown for at least a year now. And so to be able to go and do something like go to the friggin' zoo, see animals, is like a huge deal. So I'm buzzing about that. And I did also get to see my gran and my mum today, which is awesome because I haven't seen them in so long as well. So today has been a friggin' good day. But that is not what I want to talk about today. As much as I would love to talk about the elephants and the monkeys and the bears, we are actually going to talk about getting out of your comfort zone. So the reason why I want to talk about this is because getting out of your comfort zone isn't easy. It's extremely difficult for some people. But at the same time, it's one of the most common reasons for people not feeling satisfied or fulfilled by their life. And it's just this simple thing or this simple case of just not feeling ready to push boundaries, to experience new things, to, just push yourself to try something new and to challenge yourself. And so by not doing this, we kind of stay trapped in this little bubble that we feel safe in. And the thing is that's, maybe okay for a short period of time if that's, going to protect your mental state. But if you allow this to continue for a long period of time, which is very easily done, then if we look 10 years into your future, it's probably going to be the exact same as what you are now. And can you sit there and hear me say that and feel okay with that? Does that sit okay with you? If I say to you right now, your life in 10 years' time is going to look exactly the same as it does right now. You're going to do the same thing that you're doing right now every single day. Same job, same house, same situation. I mean, let's just put COVID out the window because that kind of doesn't count. But just a normal day. Are you okay with that? Is that okay that it looks the same in 10 years' time? Now, it might do. For me, it doesn't. For me, I'm not okay with that because I have ambitions, I have goals, I have aspirations. I have things that I want to experience, and I can't do that if I'm just kind of in the same position that I'm in right now. So you have to be willing to be open to challenge yourself, to accept change, and to feeling uncomfortable. That feeling of uncomfortable is going to be short term, but what you're going to get back in return is going to be a lifetime of feeling satisfied and fulfilled and happy with your life, knowing that you have done everything that you possibly can to ensure that you are living your best life. So I did a little video, I think last week now, and it was about this lady that I came across in the gym. It was her first time in the gym and she was bloody nervous. She was freaking out, which is fine because, to be honest, some gym environments can be extremely intimidating, especially if you've never been to a gym before. So I walked around with this lady and I showed her the place, tried to get her to familiarize herself with it. A key element in feeling safe and feeling comfortable is familiarizing yourself with whatever it is that you're worrying about. So we did that. We had a little walk around. And then I said to her, okay, what is it that you're hoping to achieve whilst you're here at the gym? Why have you signed up in the first place? And she said, well, I'm hoping to improve my general fitness. I just want to, be able to feel fitter. So, she wasn't looking to necessarily gain muscle or lose fat. She just wanted to be fitter. She wanted to feel healthier. So I said, okay, great. So I said, is there any equipment that you would like me to show you today? Is there anything that you have in mind that, you want me to explain a little further or give you a demonstration of? And so she said the walking machine, which, she meant a treadmill. So I said, right, okay. So we go over to the treadmill. Now, if you are a regular gym user, you will know that the treadmill is one of the most popular pieces of equipment to use in the gym. And in general, most people understand what a treadmill is used for and how to use it. It's kind of like one of the basic pieces of equipment that you'll find in a gym. The least complicated, let's say. So I take her over to the treadmill and I say, right, okay, let's go through, how to use the buttons, how to turn it on, all the basics. And so I did a little demonstration. I hopped off and then I said, okay, do you want to step on and, let's give it a whirl. So we popped the speed onto, I think it was like 0.1. It's like the lowest speed that you can do basically when you just hit start. And this pace is much slower than your normal or your average steady walk. So let's say you're just walking down the pavement. It's slower than that. So we started the treadmill off. She was holding onto the sides and she freaked out. She absolutely freaked out. She was holding on to the sides and she was almost like bent over in half, like crumpled over, and taking tiny but, well, I want to say quick, but it was going so slow. They weren't exactly quick, but she was taking these like really awkward small steps. So I said, okay, just, try and relax, lift up your chest so that you're facing forwards and just walk normally. That's all you have to do. Just as if you're walking down the street to the shop, you're just going to walk just normally. And she really struggled, bless her. She really struggled and she was so uncomfortable. Now, she could have quite easily said, Emma, I want to stop. I'm not okay with this. Can we stop? And can you show me another piece of equipment? And I did ask her, are you okay? Do you want to continue? And she said, yes, I want to continue learning how to use this piece of equipment. And I just thought, amazing. And it sounds so basic and it sounds so simple, but you have to understand that she was really afraid of this piece of equipment. She was really scared. And she continued to push herself through that very uncomfortable situation so that she could learn how to use that piece of equipment, because in the long term she knew that this would do her some good, that this would help her, that this would help her to achieve her goals of improving her general fitness. So if we think about that story and think, well, how can you apply that to your own life? I mean, you can apply that to every area of your life. Let's just say you're in a job right now and you're looking to get a promotion, but there's certain areas in which you know that you need to really improve your knowledge on or your skill set on. It might be writing a specific report, it might be networking, it might be being able to give presentations, okay? All of these things are what are required for you to get that promotion. So let's say it's giving a presentation. Let's say the promotion is that you're going to go out on the field and you have to be able to connect with people and give these presentations, right? So for some people that can be extremely challenging to stand in front of other people and to talk and to give a presentation. The fear of public speaking is one of the main fears. So if this is you, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to address that? Because you want that promotion, right? But you know that you need to be able to do this, that you need to be able to give a presentation. But the idea of doing a presentation freaks you the hell out. And you're just like, holy shit, no. Like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do that. That scares me. And so what happens? Well, chances are you don't do it because it's uncomfortable. And so you revert back to, well, do you know what? Like, this job is okay. This job that I'm in right now, it's fine. You know, it's not exactly well paid. Stresses me out a little bit. I don't have much of a social life, and you know, it's causing me some problems with my home life. But you know, it's safe. It's giving me an income, so it'll do. That's not okay. That's not okay. And in 10 years' time, still not going to be okay, is it? So what do you need to do? You need to push yourself out of that comfort zone. So you're fearing giving that presentation in front of other people. I get that. So now what we need to do is we need to work on how can you make that comfortable. And the thing is that the answer to this a lot of the time is to just do it. To just throw yourself out there and just do it. Now, you can take baby steps. So if we were looking at a presentation, maybe it could be something a little bit smaller, like hopping on a Facebook Live. So if you've got Facebook and the majority of the people who are on there are your family and friends, you know that the people that you're going to be speaking to, or the people who are going to see it, are people who you know and who hopefully won't judge you based on that Facebook Live. So this could be a really good starting point, is just hopping on a Facebook Live. So you've got the pressure of the fact that it's live and you can't mess up your words. Very similar to if you were giving a presentation. And that in itself, just by doing a couple of those, can be like a starting point to you working up towards being able to give that presentation. That's just a very general idea of how you can use it as a starting point. Now, let's look at something that's related to fitness. So, you know, yes, I've just given you the example of the lady, but let's talk about weights. Because a lot of the ladies that I train with, when they originally came to me, they had a huge fear of the weights room. Understandable. It's like the lion's den in some gyms, you know. You walk in there and there's these big muscles everywhere and there's metal flying around and making it sound like a very dangerous place. It's not quite that bad, but there's big weights being thrown around. There's grunting going on and there's bangs and slams, you know, and it can really feel quite intimidating to someone who has never walked into that part of the gym before. Add on top of that, not really knowing what you're doing and the fear of being judged by other people, you can understand why someone might think, do you know what, I'm just gonna go over there on those machines that I know how to use and that's what I'm comfortable with, so I'll just go over there. But the thing is, let's say that your goal is body recomposition and you're wanting to build some lean muscle and drop some body fat, but you're too nervous to go into the weight section and so you stick to your cardio queen routine, then chances are that you're not going to be successful in that goal. You're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be fulfilled because you've stuck to what you know, but what you know isn't what you need. So what you could do there is, well, you could hire a personal trainer. That would be an awesome start, because then you've literally got someone who is holding your hand and guiding you into that room and saying, it's okay, you're with me now. And I'm going to show you how to do the weights and no one's going to blink an eye because I'm going to make sure that you do it right. And you build up your courage until you get to a point where you can then go and do it by yourself. So hopefully you're being able to see some ideas here of how you can push your boundaries and create that change that's needed and getting out of your comfort zone to make sure that in 10 years' time, you're not uncomfortable looking back and feeling regret and wishing that you were in a completely different position. Now, I've just recently made quite a huge decision in my life, and I'm about to make another one in a few months' time, which I am not able to share with you right now, but don't you worry, you will have all the goss coming up. And both of these decisions definitely forced me out of my comfort zone, or will be forcing me out of my comfort zone. These are very big changes to my everyday life, and they're going to disrupt everything about my current routine. And how am I feeling about that? Well, yes, I have definitely spent time sitting on it and thinking about it and feeling shit scared about it. But like I say, one of the decisions has already been made and I have already committed to it. And the other one is pretty much 98% gonna happen. So I've had to spend some time really thinking about it. And I've thought myself as well, no, Emma, you need to push yourself out of this comfort zone that you're in right now, because this zone isn't serving you right now. It's not providing you any purpose. It's not making you feel satisfied. It's not what you want. And so I've made the decision that I have to do this. And so the decision that I made not so long ago, you know, it was a very scary decision to make. And I did spend some time thinking about it. But what actually got me to say yes and got me to make that decision was, how is this going to benefit me? How is this going to change my life? And if I could see that it was going to do that for the good, for the better, that it was going to get me one step closer to my life goals and my dreams, then it had to be a yes. It just had to be a yes. Because if I said no, then I would be doing everything that I'm doing right now for even longer. And I know that right now I'm not where I want to be. So I had to make that decision. And I guess that's the kind of advice that I would give to you as well. If you currently have something like that, like you have a big decision in your life right now or something that's coming up and you're feeling a lot of worry and anxiety around it, then I would suggest really thinking, how is saying yes to that decision going to affect your life, and how could it affect your future in 5-10 years time? And then also, how is saying no going to affect it as well? How is saying no and being safe and comfortable going to affect your life in 5 or 10 years time? And then compare your answers and have a look and just see, which one are you happy sitting with? Which one are you happy to be like, okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. And then you'll have your answer there and then. No more discussion. Done. One of the biggest reasons for why we don't decide to change and why we don't decide to commit is because of fear. Somewhere along the way, we have learned to fear whatever it is that we are trying to make a decision about, that we're trying to change. And fear it's just so damaging, it's so limiting. And the thing is with fear is that it's just a mindset, like it's just an emotion, it's just something that you're thinking. That's it. Like fear isn't, it's not solid, like it's not an item, it's just in your head, it's a thought, it's an emotion, it's an expression. That is it, right? But it's so powerful. It's so powerful in holding us back. And if we find a way to deal and manage with that fear and not allow it to consume us and not allow it to take over us, then we're more than likely going to take action on the things that we want to take action on. So there's a book that I love. I'm always telling people about it, and it's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And it's by Susan Jeffers. And do you know what? I can't remember who bought it for me. I think it might have been my partner, because of some big decisions that we were making, and he knew that I had a struggle with fear, and so I think it was him that actually bought me this book. And you know, it's one of my favorite books because it's so eye-opening. The thing with fear is that we are always going to experience it, no matter what. You can't stop fear. You can't ever stop fear, because you're going to always come across new things, new experiences in your life. That's just how it is. And what comes with that is fear, because we don't know. It's a fear of the unknown. So when something new comes our way, we don't know anything about it. Yeah, chances are we're going to fear it. So if we can't eradicate fear, if we can't actually stop it completely, then what we need to do is we need to be able to manage it. We need to be able to manage how we let it affect us and how we respond to it. And so just in the title there, feel the fear and do it anyway, is just what I live by now. It's just what's got to be done. You've got to be able to learn to feel that fear, but just do it. Just take action anyway. And that way, you're never ever going to allow fear to hold you back and to stop you from doing the things that you really want to do. It's so easy for me to sit here and say that. I know when you get to a position in your life where you're really fucking shit scared, you know, it's going to be difficult to be like, it's fine, I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm absolutely bricking myself right now, but I'm just going to do it. I understand it's not that easy and it is going to take some practice. So again, just like with, you know, what I was saying about taking small steps to push yourself out of your comfort zone, I would say start small. You know, think about little things that you can do on a daily basis that can work towards being able to have feelings of fear but still pushing yourself through. So I wouldn't recommend just, you know, choosing a huge life-changing decision and going, fuck it, I'm doing it. You know, I would start small to begin with and, you know, build it up from there. So, you know, you guys, you're more than likely into your health by listening to this podcast, okay? And let's just go for a common fear around nutrition, which is carbohydrates. Someone who's been really struggling with the idea of eating carbohydrates because they have this fear that they're going to gain weight, that they're going to get fat just from a carbohydrate. And if you've worked with me, then chances are you've had the talk from me already about carbohydrates and that they're not to be feared, that they are not the enemy, and they are most certainly not the reason for your weight gain. And so there's a high chance that I would have then asked or advised you to try and bring carbohydrates back into your diet, just very slowly and very gradually. And for someone who hasn't had carbohydrates for a long amount of time because they've been worried that this is the main cause or the main reason for their fat gain and for them therefore being unhappy, it's going to be quite a scary moment to just suddenly start eating, you know, bread and rice and potatoes and whatever again, right? But it's just about feeling that fear and doing it anyway. Now, for some people, this will be a really big deal, and for other people, this will be small. So it kind of depends, you know, on the fear factor, like the fear level that you have. But find what it is that is just relevant to you, but isn't on a huge scale, and just practice that mind shift of feeling scared, but doing something anyway, and being in that moment of thinking, fuck, I just want to run away right now and not have to deal with this situation, and try and sit in that point and think in your head, no, I'm just going to do it. I'm doing it, and see what happens. And tell me what happens, because I'd love to know. I'd love to hear your feel the fear and do it anyway moments, if we're going to call them that. Another thing that I like to say is kicking fear in the rear. Because, you know, that's essentially what we're doing. We're basically saying, screw you, fear, I'm going to do it anyway. So, yeah. So if you do that, definitely shout out to me and let me know how you get on. But I'm going to wrap it up there. Just leaving it with a challenge for you guys. I want you to, well, my challenge is for you to challenge yourself. So I want you to think of something this week that you have been wanting to do for a long time, but you've been really scared to do it. It's been holding you back because you've been holding a lot of fear, anxiety, and worry around it. And I want you to do it. Okay, think about something small, because I really don't want to be held responsible for like people making really big life-changing decisions and then like fucking something up because Emma said on her podcast that I should just do it anyway. Like, don't hold me to that. Be responsible and maybe just start small for now. But yeah, I challenge you to do it. Like, maybe it is going into the weights room. Maybe you've been really scared. You know what you're doing, but you're scared of going in there. Go in there. I dare you. I challenge you this week to do it. Maybe there's a guy that you've been wanting to message and ask out on a date, but you've been too scared for what he might say. Do it. Message him. See what he says. Maybe you have bought a new, I don't know, brightly coloured lipstick that you really want to wear, but you're worried what people will say because it's just too much. Wear it. Do it. I dare you. Okay? Little things. That's all I'm saying for now. Don't go and sell your house or get divorced or anything. Unless you need to do that, that's fine. But yeah, let me know how you get on. So reach out to me, Em.Powercoaching UK on Instagram and Facebook. Don't forget, I've also got my private women's health support group over on Facebook, which is Empowered Together. You can find all of these links in the show notes as well. To my Apple Podcast listeners, you guys are the only ones who at the minute I believe can leave reviews. So if you've enjoyed this show or you've got anything to say about this show, I would really appreciate you leaving me a lovely 5 gleaming stars, because every star helps. Mainly because that means that my show kind of goes up in the rankings, and that's got absolutely nothing or means nothing to me with regards to the rankings themselves. It just means that more people will come across the podcast, which means I can help more people. And that's it. The numbers and the figures literally mean zero to me. You'll know that. If you know me, you know that I'm not bothered about that kind of stuff. What I'm bothered about is changing lives, and that's why that's important to me. So I really appreciate you guys when you do that, and I love it when you reach out to me and tag me in your stories and let me know when you've listened to these podcasts. It just allows me to connect and to say thank you personally as well. It's more like a two-way conversation then, rather than just me talking at you every week. But either way, whatever works, I'm happy to be helping you if that's what I'm doing. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. I hope you all have a lovely week, and don't forget about that little challenge. You're going to go find something that scares the shit out of you, and you're going to do it, and that's it. All right, thanks for listening, and I will check back with you next week. Bye.